subscribe and share them, and hit that like button for me.
Hey everybody, it's Matt with Everywhere Auto Repair. Today I am driving a piece of junk Chrysler Sebring, and I'm going out to replace an axle on a trailer. So you see right here, we got an axle right here. What happened is that I got called out to do some bearings on an axle yesterday. I don't really know too much about trailers, but I learned enough yesterday. I get out there and the wheel is falling apart. Like the wheel bearing is falling apart, the wheel is falling off. I get the axle down to the spindle on the side that was wrecked, and there are deep grooves on the bottom of the axle. So I go to a local trailer parts place to get new bearings. They asked me, hey, did you look on the bottom? I told them about the grooves, and they showed me some examples of new axles versus old axles, and they informed me that because the spindle has those grooves on it, it'll destroy the new bearings if you just install a new hub and bearing. So I recommended the customer that we just replace the axle, which he was fine with, but getting parts was a bit of a challenge. We had to buy new axle and all new parts, and I'm gonna assemble it. And right now what I'm doing is sitting outside of the tire shop because I have a flat tire. Not a big deal. I just have to wait a couple minutes for them to open. Hopefully they open on time. All right, we're out here. Got my axle. Got some hardware. Got some hubs in here. Working on this boat trailer. Never done this before. It's not gonna be that difficult. I'll show you how I do it if I think I'm doing it right. If I think I'm having a good old time, maybe I'll show you some of what I do. You can tell me how I'm wrong, but otherwise I'm just gonna show you when it's done. Got me and Jethro here. He's getting big. All right, before I start unbolting anything, I set this on the ground to see if the flange was gonna line up with that flange, just to make sure that the axles are the same length. See, we got a square axle getting replaced with a round axle. Now, I took my hub, made sure that it fits my wheels. All right, so I'm trying out a new toy today. It's an OEM Tools bearing packer. I took that part out. Sorry. I took this part out, put grease in the bottom, and then I put the smaller end of the bearing facing down. That's what it says on the instructions. And now, it's gonna take two hands, but fucking stupid thing. Okay, so that was quite a bit less dramatic than I thought it was gonna be. But you can see that I don't have any clue why the sides are fogged up like that. Probably because I got grease on them. But you can see there's grease coming out of the bearings. So imagine that's a pretty good sign. That's better than I've ever packed any bearing by hand. So I'm pretty happy so far. All right, now I take our bearing out, drop it in there. It's only gonna go in one way, so don't worry. And then I'm gonna take my dust seal and set it on there. And then what I'm gonna do is find something flat to set up right here, and then I'll hammer on whatever I set on there. Okay, so you see I got this little piece of wood right here, set it on here, and then I'm gonna try and do this one-handed for you guys. So look at that. It's not quite flush, but I think I'm gonna tap it a couple more times until it is flush. All right, now I'm gonna be taking these U-bolts off of the axle. All right, I got this side off. Now I'm gonna go ahead, do the other side over there. Don't be camera shy. Hey, no laying around on the job. So once I broke all these loose, I take my stubby ratchet. And this is gonna make it a lot faster. Okay, if you're wondering why we're replacing this axle, I'm not sure if you can see it, but there are deep grooves on the bottom of this. No bueno. All right, the customer was asking me, how am I gonna get everything centered perfectly? And I basically just told him, I don't know, man, I'm gonna figure it out, but it's gonna be perfect. Well, here's how I'm gonna get it perfectly. Get it on here perfectly. So there's a bolt going through the middle of the leaf spring, and this little guy right here lines up on this bolt. And then we take our axle, which I just kind of drug into position, and we set it on there. And then we've got new U-joint bolts that are gonna go around this round axle. And if I can reuse that plate, then I will. But I have new plates just in case I'm not able to reuse that. Now I took my measuring tape and I measured from this little perch to the flange, and I got them within 1 millimeter of each other on both sides. All right, so I got these U-bolts all tightened up. Got those U-bolts all tightened up. And now I'm gonna take the plastic off of this spindle, start putting the hubs on. All right, I skipped filming a couple steps, but I'm gonna make it real easy. I installed the bearing in the hub on the back end, put the seal in, and then I put this on there, and then I installed the outer taper bearing in there, and then I took the lock nut that comes with it, the axle nut, and I tightened it on there using that wrench right there. And then after it was tight, I slipped over. It's not a cotter pin, but it's a different kind of lock. But put your cotter pin or whatever it is that you're locking in the nut with. And then I put this dust cover on, and I put this little boot in. And on the other side, you'll see I already got the wheel on. I'm gonna put the wheel on the other side, and then that'll be a new axle on this boat trailer. If you have any questions, guys, just go ahead and leave a comment down below. If this video helped you, go ahead and like and subscribe if you haven't already. Keep an eye out for the hill, guys. What?